Hi, hello, and welcome back to F1 Challenge Career Mode. My name is Mephisto, and today we're heading off to Spain for round 5 of the 2000 Formula 1 season. Let's get started.
Located just a few kilometers to the north of Barcelona, the superb Circuit de Catalunya combines medium-speed straights with an interesting selection of slow, medium, and high-speed turns. This dedicated motorsports facility is a good example of modern circuit design and is highly rated by most of the teams both as a race and testing venue.
And here we are in Spain, ready to start off the Spanish Grand Prix. But before we can do that, we need to qualify. So let's jump straight into it and see how we perform. Pretty horribly, I would imagine. So, coming around for our first qualifying lap, as expected by this point, I was quite slow, but we crossed the line with a time of 1 minute 27.196 seconds, placing us in 18th for the moment. And now, towards the end of the session, we come around once more with the intent of improving our previous time, and so we cross the line with a time of 1 minute 26.360 seconds, which places us in 20th. See you on the grid.
Hello there. Welcome to Spain for round 5 of the 2000 FIA Formula 1 World Championship. The weather, as so often is the case here, is just wonderful. Hakkinen first. Coulthard second. Schumacher third. Jenson Button fourth. Rubens Barrichello fifth. Schumacher sixth. Heinz-Harald Frentzen seventh. Villeneuve eighth. Verstappen ninth. Nick Heidfeld 10th. Giancarlo Fisichella 11th. Eddie Irvine was consistently faster than his teammate. He starts 12th. Alexander Wurz 13th. Jarno Trulli consistently outpaced his championship rival. He starts 14th. Ricardo Zonta 15th. Pedro Diniz 16th. Sarlo 17th. Alesi 18th. De La Rosa 19th. The Jaguar driver 20th. Marc Genet 21st. Gaston Mazzacane 22nd.
So, here we are on the grid waiting for the lights to go out and get the show on the road. And let us hope that we can transform last week's retirement into some points. And we're off. As usual, a bad start on my part, but let's see if we can gain a few positions at the end of this very long straight as we slipstream De La Rosa, then tuck in behind the Prost of Jean Alesi, I believe. So we pass Alesi and Salo, but let's take another look at the start, shall we? As De La Rosa makes contact with Diniz. Here's a replay of the start, and there we are right at the back in 20th. De La Rosa has an amazing start and gets ahead of us. Everyone pulls away from the grid and races down this long straight into turn 1, where we manage to gain 2 places. Now let's see the incident between De La Rosa and Diniz. We are riding with Pedro De La Rosa. He passes Alesi and Salo, then he slightly taps the rear of Diniz's Sauber. Fortunately for them, it wasn't more serious. But back to the race, as we follow De La Rosa around, I intended to try and pass him there, but it wasn't possible. And he is now pulling away from us slightly, but I'm sure we can catch up to him. And there are cones all around the exit of that corner. De La Rosa is now around 7/10 ahead, and behind us we have Salo, who is right on our gearbox, so we need to watch out for that. As we are coming close to finishing the first lap of this 2000 Spanish Grand Prix, we're closing the gap a bit on De La Rosa. But he is pulling away again, especially through these final 2 corners where I'm quite slow. I just can't get on the power early enough, leading to De La Rosa building a gap of around 1 second. And Salo is still hot on our trail as we cross the line to start lap 2. So now, as pretty much everyone has settled down into a single file, it's time to start overtaking people. We really don't want to end the race in 18th. Just a bit later on lap 2 we close in the gap on Pedro de la Rosa and we attempt to overtake him, but I take the turn very tightly allowing de la Rosa to keep his position. But we shall try again through the next corner. We are now side by side and as we exit the corner we get in front. So we are now up in 17th. And next we have Deniz who is around 1 second ahead. As we start lap 3, we close up on Deniz and use his slipstream to give us a bit more speed, which helps us to get ahead of him. Next up the BAR of Ricardo Zonta, just a little over a second ahead. Let's keep pushing. Later on we catch up to Zonta and we nearly make contact there. We are slowly pulling away from Deniz, but let's see if we can do to Zonta what we've done to De La Rosa. They turn in early and cut the corner, so I let Zonta to get back in front, but we stick close to him and hope that we'll get another opportunity to overtake. As we start lap 5, we use the slipstream of Ricardo Zonta and hope to overtake him into turn 1. And we go past him as well as our quote-unquote rival, Jarno Trulli. And I almost ended up breaking myself. That wouldn't have been good at all. But we are now up in P14, which is good. Near the end of lap 5, we catch up to Alexander Wirtz and we easily fly past. And that puts us into P13, 7 places below the points, which is our goal for today. It's about time that we started scoring some points. On lap 6, we catch up to Villeneuve who seems to be stuck in gear. Yup, listen to the sound of that BAR. So that's it for the 1997 champion. As we come around to finish lap 7, teammate Irvine peels off into the pits, so that puts us ahead of him. Let's try to push and build a gap in the hopes that we can come out in front of him when it is our time to pit, which will be at the end of this lap, lap 8. And I think that we are now up in the points. This is the first time in this season when we've been so high up in the field. But now at the end of lap 8 we finally need to come in for tires and fuel. So let us see where we will be once we are ready to rejoin the track, as people fly past us both on the track and in the pits. So we've been stationary for 11 seconds, but that is fine since we took on quite a lot of fuel, as Zonta and Deniz also come into pit, so that's going to be an easy overtake. Oh, that was a contact. I'm now checking to see whether or not I lost my wing, instead of focusing on getting back into the race, so that lost us quite some time. Well done, Mephisto, well done. So, as we come around to finish lap 12, Irvine again decides to pit. That doesn't make any sense. He pitted on lap 7. Why would you only take on fuel for just 5 laps? And he's not the only one in the pits. Some other cars have decided to pit a second time, as we lap one of the Minardis from turn 1. So now we have Ralf Schumacher some 1.5 seconds ahead. Let's see if we can catch up. We do in fact catch up to Schumacher. He's got the Jordan of Frentzen in front of him, me behind, and he goes very wide through that corner. Let's see if we can capitalize on that. And we're through. Next up, the Jordan of Heinz-Harald Frentzen. This is going to be fun, overtaking both cars of our former team. And so, on the final lap, we get close enough to Frentzen to try and go for a pass, which we do beautifully, and that, as long as we don't make any mistakes, puts us up into 4th position, which is absolutely amazing. So now, coming through the final corner of this Spanish Grand Prix, we managed to keep Frentzen behind, and that gives us 4th position. That is, 3 points on the board, our first points this season, and the fact that we took both Jordans will probably make the team regretting the decision of letting us go, as we take a look at the finishers and retirements. So that is an amazing turning point in our career. Let's hope that from now on we can consistently score points. I don't think that we can win the championship, but scoring points is something we can pretty much do. Perhaps we can even match the success we enjoyed last season.
After that fantastic Spanish Grand Prix, let's take a look at the final results. Hakkinen first. David Coulthard second. Michael Schumacher third. The Jaguar driver fourth. Heinz-Harald Frentzen fifth. Schumacher sixth. It's high time we updated the Drivers' Championship. Michael Schumacher first.
So, With Michael Schumacher finishing in third this race, he only scores 4 points, but he still keeps his lead in the championship with 37 points. Mika Hakkinen is in second now with 26 points, which puts him very close to Schumacher. Jenson Button is still in third, still with 12 points. David Coulthard moves up into fourth with 10 points. Eddie Irvine and Nick Heidfeld drop into fifth with 7 points each. Rubens Barrichello and Jos Verstappen drop down to sixth with 6 points. Ralf Schumacher drops to seventh with 5 points. We move up into eighth with 3 points, points which we share with Jacques Villeneuve and Giancarlo Fisichella. Heinz Ferrell Frentzen moves up into ninth, which he shares with Alexander Wurz with 2 points each. And finally down in 10th we have Mika Salo with 1 single point.
Ferrari stay ahead in the Constructors' Championship, despite having their lead reduced by this result. McLaren are second, whilst third place is held by Williams.
Ferrari maintain their lead now with 43 points, but McLaren are rapidly closing the gap. They now have 36 points. Williams stay in third now with 7 points. Jaguar, our team, are still in fourth, but now we have 10 points. Prost dropped down to 5th with 7 points. Arrows are in 6th with 6 points. Benetton are in 7th with 5 points. BAR are in 8th with 3 points. Jordan move up into 9th with 2 points. Sauber dropped down to 10th with 1 single point, making Minardi the sole team not to score any points thus far in the season. So, we finally managed to score some points, which gives me great hopes for the future. This result shows that the car is competitive and that we are also quite competitive as well. I hope that we will be able to win at least one race. My best guess would probably be in Canada or in Austria, but those are quite far off. For now, we need to get ready for the European Grand Prix held at Nordschleife in Germany. I'm not sure what to expect, but we'll find out once we get there. A few more points wouldn't hurt though. With that said, join me next time when we'll be heading over to Germany for round 6, the European Grand Prix of the 2000 season. Until then, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you all so much for watching, and as always, stay sharp.